Hello everyone, it's Fialer. So today I'm just going to be making a quick video about the Spacetime merchant that's going to be coming soon to global. This merchant was added on the Chinese server with the Cold Steel collab, so that should be in about a month for us. But the rules for this shop are pretty simple. This unlocks at level 60 and it spawns every Sunday for 24 hours. This store uses either Trinity Crystals or a new currency called Star Coins to buy certain items. And as you'll see in a moment, many of these items are pretty good and much sought over. You can earn the new currency by trading in a lot of the junk drops that many of you have built up by now. As you can see on screen, some of the things you're allowed to trade in include the experience point potions, bond crystals, bond gifts and keys, and Aniki materials. Now for most of these you are only allowed to trade up to the SR or gold quality items, but there are a few select ones where you can trade up to the SSR items. However, no matter how many of those you have saved up, you still can only earn up to 12,000 coins a week, and they can go away pretty fast as you'll see in a moment. The items that you are allowed to buy pretty much all appear at random, although there's quite a few items that will appear more often than others. If there's a cheap item for coins that you think you don't really need, you might consider picking them up anyway, because buying from this store actually levels it up, and leveling up the store increases the amount of items available at any given moment. Items will also randomly be on discount, and the discount amount can range from 30 to 70% off. These also appear randomly and can appear for just about any item in the store. So here's a table of the costs of the majority of items that can be available for sale in the store. Now if there's an item here that you don't recognize, don't worry about it. I'm going to be explaining some of the new items that they added alongside this store in a moment. As usual, I'm not going to read every single one out loud to you, but there's quite a few details here that I think are worth noting. First, you might notice that there are quite a few slots here that I did not fill in. The reason for this is that I spent a couple hours looking through videos for this store, and for many of these items I never saw them sold for coins at all. And even though many people report that in theory it is possible for any item from this store to be sold for either currency, I think it does say quite a bit that I looked through quite a few videos and I could not find many of these items for sale for the star coins. Now if you want to know what they might cost as coins, you can easily see right here that the ratio is very clear and it's very consistent throughout all items. It's a 20-to-1 ratio between the crystal and the coin cost, so if you want to know what the coin cost might be for some of these missing slots, you can just multiply the crystal cost by 20. I think the most notable missing slot here is the one for the SSR Aniki machines. I think this is the item a lot of endgame players would be looking to buy, and I honestly would not be surprised if they purposefully set this item to appear 4-star coins at a very low rate, even compared to other items. So some other notes. If you are a free-to-play or budget player, I believe that most of the items from this store are only worth it if they appear for coins instead of crystals, because I feel like a lot of the items from the store are way overpriced for the amount of crystals they cost, barring when they're at a discount of course. The burgers, however, are one thing you might consider getting even if it costs crystals. Since each burger gives 50 stamina, the cost ratio here is equivalent to that of the second stamina refill you would use with crystals. So if you're one of those players who has been using your crystals to refill your stamina multiple times a day, this burger will be worth it even at full cost. The aforementioned Aniki machines of course are worth it even at full cost. Many in-game players should know by now that these machines are definitely a bottleneck to you training your troops for in-game progression. Finally, there's the Wheel of Fate, which is basically an extra Gate of Fate chance. This is definitely worth it even at full crystal cost. When you consider that each pull is 88 crystals and that on average you get an SSR hero every 50 pulls, this does math out to be more crystal efficient. But I do want to note that this item may not be worth it for certain players. If you are done Gate of Fating your existing characters and you are just saving up to pull a new character, then you need to put a bit of thought into whether or not you think this Wheel of Fate will be worth buying. Next I'm going to explain some of the items they added alongside this store. So first you have these Increment Mastery Stones. I talked about them a little bit in the past, but basically these are Mastery Stones that you use to fill out a stat that you have nearly capped with the other normal Mastery Stones. You can only use one of these per slot and you can't use these to exceed the max stat possible. As you can see, the amount it increases varies with the stat that you are trying to raise. Next we have these Aniki Bond and Dragon tickets. Basically they just add an extra daily chance to the given stage. They're quite expensive coming from the Spacetime merchant, but you may want to consider whether or not you want the Aniki or Dragon tickets. I don't think the Bond ticket is worth it at all. Then you have this frame voucher, which is just used to exchange for certain limited time frames that are no longer available. Unfortunately, they still haven't added anything similar for skins that aren't available anymore. So next we have this Angelica machine. So this Angelica machine basically makes it so that your expeditions can go out for 24 hours. And you can use multiple of these at once, so you could actually send your expedition out for like a full week or something if you have enough of these lying around. Plus, you don't have to pick it up all at the end. There are actually time intervals at which you can pick up the rewards from expeditions. And unlike how it usually works, these Angelica machines actually give out rewards based on when you pick it up and not when you sent them out. So if there's a particular type of Aniki book you're missing, which I think a lot of you might be if you've been trying to train your cores, then this will actually be a very useful item. Next we have sweep tickets. I don't think I need to explain that. And last but not least, we have this Wheel of Fate item, which I think is the one a lot of people are looking forward to. To put it simply, each Wheel of Fate you have will allow for one extra Gate of Fate stage, and these extra Gate of Fate charges are actually used after your daily allowances, so you can save them up for later use if you want. You cannot use these to repeat a stage you already ran, so you can't actually get like 4 shards for someone that could normally only get 3 or something like that. And with that, I think that's all the info I have for you as far as this store goes. Keeping it short and simple. Hopefully all of you can get what you need from this store, but more than likely not, you will not be able to. But hey, you can always pray. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.